are, and this is your June 2023 soul story. If you have a sun rising or your moon is in the sign, this is your reading. Thank you so much for supporting the channel and tuning in. It's Romy here. We are going to open up this month for you with the energy of the High Priestess. I sense that there's this really beautiful arc of change unfolding, coming in on the horizon, and it's really bringing some lightness through what may have felt like some heavier clouds around you. And even though, you know, you may feel and still see that there's a little way to go, it's going to give you some reassurance, and I think it's going to validate what you've been sensing and intuiting about some of the things that are unfolding and where you've been directing your time, energy and attention. As we're moving into Gemini season, of course, it's lighting up your 6th house of wellness and service. And so it's important that you really pay attention to how your body is responding this month. It's going to be telling you a lot about what may need to be adjusted in the environment that you're around, the people you're connected to, the situations and energies that are affecting you. And I think you're going to be able to make a significant improvement with a very slight adjustment. You know, your body will be talking to you incredibly powerfully through the course of June. We open up the month with Venus trining in Neptune, both water signs, Cancer and Pisces. Beautiful healing, feeling energy as we approach the full moon in Sagittarius, coming in 3rd, 4th of the month at 13 degrees. Of course, that Sagittarius energy is your 12th house, and so the release is extra powerful and potent. It's trining with Mars, so there's a real passionate energy around this full moon. It has the potential for something to flare up, but at the same time, I feel like that quiet, reflective, self-regulating energy of the High Priestess actually puts you in quite a strong, empowered position where you're going to be able to focus on the very one specific thing that you are ultimately ready to release so that you can create space for something else. And you know, the new horizons that are showing themselves as we sort of witness this arc of change are also helping you to really reconcile like the grounded physical way in which you're having to sort of navigate and deal with some of the practical issues, but also these evolving spiritual truths that are becoming more and more clear for you in your life and helping you to become more and more certain about how you want to move forward and the things that truly matter to you and where you really are able to continue to strengthen the faith that you have for the things that matter. Now the King of Earth comes in. I really love this showing up for you, of course, with Capricorn energy. Bear in mind with this full moon in Sagittarius, you know, all of this fire, the passion of Venus moving into fire sign Leo the following day, you know, could set tempers rising quite quickly. And I think that it's your wisdom and experience that you're going to be able to bring to a situation to diffuse things quite quickly. Now, your commitment and your consistency this month doesn't have to feel like hustle. There's a quiet focus, and it's definitely something that you are really drawing upon everything that's got you to this point. So there is an awful lot of like consideration of what worked in the past, you know, what you want to continue to focus on, and like the approach that you have in June, I think you're going to find really starts to work for you. Now, initially something might feel a little bit unremarkable, Capricorn, but suddenly through the course of June, it's going to start to fill you with this sense of life and oxygen and potential. And, you know, we need you to be courageous over your comfort. And in that, I think you need to be seeking to streamline some areas. And that's going to probably require some bold moves is what's coming through. Now, Venus in Leo on the 5th is definitely bringing in the opportunity for us to make those grand gestures. And of course, as it connects these Venusian themes into our sense of value, our prosperity and financial stories that we have within ourselves, and also our love relationships, you know, there's a big emphasis here. It helps us to be more optimistic, Venus in Leo, for sure. We bring an energy and a heart and a passion And, you know, I feel like the heat is being turned up, so to speak, somewhere. You know, I think you do have somebody that is incredibly insistent and persuasive and, you know, really trying to court you, not necessarily romantically, this could be professionally, but somebody very interested in you, kind of all around you in that first part of June. Your optimism this month isn't bypassing, it's choosing that with all that you've been through and all you've endured, you're kind of drawing on that experience, the groundedness of that, and you're really choosing an energy of hope and love and compassion and beauty because it's just far lighter to hold. Now let's bear in mind that Venus in Leo is going to go retrograde in July the 22nd right through to the 3rd of September. It's one of the more tricky retrogrades for us to navigate. We'll be feeling the shadow from around the 19th. What you need to be aware of is that what is surfacing between that 5th and the 19th of June, the themes that are going on, perhaps where you're looking to make big gestures, big investments, you know, you're feeling like you're kind of getting swept up in the moment of something, you're going to be revisiting with perhaps at times a feeling like the bubble was burst, but, you know, maybe just a little bit more of a reality check as you move through the weeks to come. So we need to be extra mindful and, you know, considerate of what's happening and definitely allow ourselves to be led by the heart. For sure, the state of your heart really determines the shape of your life. So absolutely let it be courageous and overflowing with kindness and love and compassion. But let's also know that, you know, we're going to be learning some lessons and going back over, you know, some experiences that have come up in this early part of the month. So keep an eye on the themes and just be open-minded that everything is an experience. There are no right or wrong. So it's not about like tempering what you feel like your reaction would be and, you know, trying to overthink and overanalyze. You still have to move through life in a way that's natural to you. But this is just your heads up, yeah? So we're also going to witness Mercury coming into Gemini on the 11th. And as we see this page of fire here, I think that the communication, and especially as you're forging new relationships in June, it feels like there's just kind of no template for this. You're letting go of convention. You're trying some different things. It feels kind of magical. It feels quite different. Might be putting you out your comfort zone a little bit, but I think you're meant to be coming into contact with some people that rock your world a little bit. And I mean that in the, you know, the best possible terms, you know, just people that really show you a different way of being, a different way of living or of thinking about the world, new perspectives. And in a way, I think you'll also come to realize just how much you know when somebody does reach out and ask for help or advice. And this in and of itself feels like it's going to open up a bit of a new thought process for you as well, Capricorn, in terms of, you know, maybe something that you want to start to put a little bit more prioritization towards. So that Mercury and Gemini energy, of course, it's natural ruler, and through the season, you know, things feel a little bit more lighter, a bit more playful. We're more curious to explore different things. Now, this Queen of Fire, along with the High Priestess, you know, I feel like there are some really potent, powerful conversations unfolding with female energy through the course of this month. And you need to address, I think, some of the things that have been sort of almost like left like the elephant in the room a little bit. So keep that in mind. And it's important as you go back and perhaps consider the interaction, the relationship overall, you know, that you also count the survivals and not the setbacks, you know, like the positive aspects of what's been experienced, not just the challenges, because I feel like there is something a little challenging, and there does feel that there may be some moments where some tempers feel a little bit frayed through the course of this month for you. But at the same time, there's also this welling up of like pride and happiness, so it's all a bit kind of intermingled, and you yourself might feel even a little bit confused as to some of the ways that your emotions are sort of taking you through this kind of crazy cosmic ride, so to speak. Now we are going to see Saturn, your natural ruler, going retrograde on the 17th, and it's the same day as the new moon in Gemini. So we are going to be, with this Saturn transit, of course, revisiting commitments, reviewing our boundaries, looking at our long-term visions, and there can feel like this sense of things slowing down or feel like our progress is being stunted a little bit. It's a bit conflicting when we're looking at this new moon in Gemini that wants to sort of move off like a rocket, really, and power forward. And so the Five of Fire isn't a surprise to me. We have that sort of internal push-pull, a little bit of conflict going on. You may, be the one that's kind of laying the ground rules down and sort of slowing things yourself, or you may feel that someone else is doing that to you. That could be the cause of just some tension in and around you, perhaps again connected into the female energy that I see sort of surfacing. But at the same time, there's something incredibly powerful about how this experience is just going to, again, sort of really narrow your focus. And it will help you to sort of really say, this is time for me to ask, like, the things in my life, the people, the energies, like, what are they bringing to me? Like, you're going to see everything in such a new light through the month of June. And of course, we also have solstice energy, which is this beautiful still point, this reflection of the mid-time of the year to kind of look back and see how far you've come, this beautiful dance between the light and the dark, and to kind of celebrate the release and the emergence of like a new season and cycle just after that new moon. And I think that you also have an incredibly progressive conversation out with some of this conflict and tension I see arising that will balance out, what your energy needs in that moment. I think you do need to advocate for yourself and perhaps ask some of the tough questions early on to ensure that you save some time and energy. So keep that in mind. But this very progressive conversation coming in around that time. Then, between the 17th and the 19th, we've got Jupiter sextile Saturn on the 19th, helping us to have the strength to overcome adversity. So it's just like this conversation sparks something, yeah? You might even listen into something. It could be something that you're watching or listening to in a podcast or, anything like this. But, regardless, the conversation itself moves you. It's powerful and you see a way forward, and it affords you the luxury of kind of really addressing like something that you've been using within yourself to kind of hold yourself back. So limiting belief gets really highlighted at this time. And this is powerful because it also means that, when you address this, and I think that you will, because like I said, I've got this arc of change coming in for you through the course of this month. You are naturally almost overnight, like improving so many other situations in your life, because this one thing, this one belief that you've held on to has sort of inveigled itself into a lot of the dynamics of your relationships. And whether you're kind of aware of it or not, I feel like it's really affected your perception of how people see you. It's how people see you, Capricorn. And that's what I think is really coming through this like incredibly powerful shift. And of course, as we move into Cancer season, it's your 7th house, that mirror energy where we're really able to address things within ourselves and also look at the relationships in our life and kind of see shifts and changes and growth. Now you've got the energy of the Hermit. Now the door is closed and yet we have this variety of keys. It may feel to you as we come upon Solstice 21st, we've got the Sun in Cancer, Ceres, asteroid goddess, moving into Libra, Mercury sextile to Mars. It's a really beautiful lineup. And, it will really help you to kind of have that moment of like celestial stillness to go within and kind of ask this is the thing, right? You have to ask the right question to get the answer to find this key. Okay, but there's something really beautiful that unfolds as a result of that. So have no fear, like there's no sense of you not being able to move through this door, yeah? It's almost like there's like a riddle or something, okay? And it's almost like the guides are saying you haven't been asking the right question. So around that time, around that date, what you're going to find is that everything feels like it's settling. There's this moment in time. In fact, time sort of almost stands still. Be aware this month, actually, that my soul meditation to support the soul stories is about releasing resistance, rather, to timelines. Yeah, so this might be a good one, especially around solstice. I also have a beautiful solstice meditation, so be sure to check that out if you're embarking on any lovely rituals around this time. So the Hermit, I feel, is quite a pivotal moment for you, actually, of exploration, of finding what that right question is, and all of a sudden it just feeling like not only does this door open, but the next one and the next one and the next. It's kind of like a domino effect. Okay, and again, there's this sense of like there's no template for what you're moving through and what you're experiencing right now. So everything feels kind of different, and it's supposed to. Yeah, it's supposed to feel that way for you. Now, toward the end of the month, we're going to be seeing Neptune moving into its retrograde energy. Of course, when this happens, like the rose-tinted glasses tend to come off, and you know, we do experience over the next few weeks sometimes a bit of a cold hard reality check. And you know, when we combine that with Venus going retrograde as well, there may be some situations where, you know, all that glitters we find out isn't quite so gold, but at the same time, this allows these really powerful divine detours to come through, and the benevolence of Source to kind of really work in the way that it's meant to, in alignment with your soul blueprint, and get you where you're supposed to be. You know, sometimes we can kind of ignore the signs, or, you know, we choose to have a certain experience, but I do feel like there will be some sort of hard stops over the next few weeks that will, you know, pull you up short a little bit, perhaps kind of make you realize, give you a little bit of a wake-up call in relation to perhaps some certain situations, again connected in perhaps to money, to finances, you know, where we've been in a fantasy or illusion based way of thinking. But you know, this isn't here to harm you, it's here to help you, and that's what you need to remember. We have to be the neutral witness to everything that plays out. And you know, you will ask yourself these tough questions, especially towards the end of the month, because there'll be so much kind of mirroring back to you. But there's such a huge upside to this, I can't even express. It's just like once you kind of take it on board and you accept it, like the moment you accept it, it's like you're just flooded with relief, because your higher self knows this is the right decision. And all of a sudden your body, like I tell you, your body's going to speak to you as well and go, oh my God, thank goodness we've extricated ourselves, or you know, moved away from this. And you're going to be like, what took me so long? This is what I hear you saying, what took me so long? But don't worry, there's no hindsight to kind of stress over. This is just everything about the experience and how it changes you. Okay, so if you're new to the channel, the last 3 cards we cover in our extended reading, Capricorn. I'll talk for 25-30 minutes or so. Go deeper into the month ahead. You'll find a link in the comment and description box underneath. I'm going to go ahead and start just clarifying this reading and seeing what else wants to come through. I love that you have the High Priestess and the Hermit. I think there's such a sense of wisdom kind of supporting you to make the right call continuously through the course of this month, even with these impending, you know, retrograde energies that can kind of, you know, get us caught up in things. I still feel like you're going to have that intuitive sense of, okay, I know this isn't good for me. I may be deciding I'm going to do it anyway, but ultimately I think that you will have that inner knowing. Okay, we've got King of Wands, 10 of Cups coming through. That's nice. Knight of Pentacles. These strong earth energies showing up again to be supportive for you this month. Okay, 10 of Wands. The Star, beautiful. All the decks that I use are listed in the comment and description box underneath, Capricorn. We've got a few there, we'll just take them. Chariot, 2 of Pentacles, Ace of Wands. Of course, you'll also see my deck, Life Soul Vision Oracle, and my book, Musings. If you enjoy my work, please do check out these creations. Again, all the links are below. You'll find that over on my website. Nice to see these aces showing up for you. Astro Goddess energies. We also have Juno shifting into Cancer on the 22nd, along with Vesta moving into Gemini. If you want to get more information about your own personal natal chart and how they're affected by these goddess energies, you can also check that out in the link below. Okay, so I'm going to use Life Soul Vision Oracle, and again just clarify for us. Nice, solar plexus. We also have Pluto, of course, shifting back into your sign this month on the 11th. So that is going to be feeling like a bit of a revisitation, but not so much in a kind of having to go back over. I think for you to just be a true witness to how far you've come. The Gathering Spirit Horse, got some lovely cards coming through. Encoded footprints, collective hearts. Queen of water. Okay, now let's have a look at the Enchanted Map Oracle for you. So for the month of June for Capricorn, sad embrace. Okay, we cover off these messages in the extended along with a personal question that might not have come up in the main spread, and I also do a one card relationship advice insight as well as going back over this main reading. Okay, and your astrology card is Aries. All right, so thank you so much for tuning in. I hope this is helpful. I look forward to continuing the conversation if you're joining me for the extended. You take good care. I'll see you again next time. Enjoy.